Okay guys, in this video I'm going to show you how you can get Windows 10 or any sort of Windows installed onto your SATA drive, in this case on an SSD drive, how to get that off to a start. And so let's get right into it. So this is the, you're going to be installing the BX500, that's a solid state drive, 1 terabyte. I'm not going to grab that. That's the drive right there. You've been installing this into the computer, and it takes SATA cable. So where you do that is you get your SATA cable here. It's roughly about half a centimeter. Sorry, half a centimeter. It's roughly about half a meter, and I'm going to press that inside here. Place the cable SATA data lead into the SATA data port there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw this. If you've got a desktop PC, something like this, a modern desktop chassis, I'm going to allows you to place the drive straight onto the chassis and screw it into the chassis without the need of it, like a bay with brackets required. You won't need like a 3.5 inch to 2.5 inch bracket. You just screw it into the chassis, which I'm going to show you now. So that's going to go in there. Okay, because this drive is so light, I'm just going to put 2 screws in. So first I'm going to place the drive the front like this, over and around the front, and then place it in here. I'm going to match up the screw holes with the holes on the chassis. That's one lined up there, so I'm going to get my screwdriver and place 1 screw over here. So that's 1 screw in. Make sure the screws are obviously thick enough to go into the holes, because the holes are quite wide actually, but make sure they're also long enough as well, because it has to piece through the metal, the chassis, and obviously get through to the hole in the actual drive itself. So the next screw, that's this look of the screw actually, by the way. Not too sure if this one's going to fit in, so let's just try it. Yeah, this fits. So I'll put 2 in. It only needs 2 because it's a very light drive. It's not a hard disk where it's made of metal. It's actually plastic on the outskirts of the drive. So that's that in. And to finish off there, you want to put the power source plugged into the drive like that. That goes straight from your power supply. So that as well as the SATA cable, which I've done there. I plugged these straight. What I've done, I've tidied the cable up a bit and put the cable around the back from the drive to the board, but threaded it through the back of the chassis for more tidiness. Okay, so let's turn the desktop on now then. So I'm going to do here, I'm going to plug my USB Windows 10 bootable disk in there. So that I'm going to boot off and do a clean install right from the boot up. And I've turned I've actually restarted the computer, hoping that it will boot from the bootable Windows 10 flash drive disk with the Windows 10 on it. And there we have it. You can see the Windows setup booting there. Just going to go to next, install. Right, setup is starting, so it's taking us there. So I'm going to go. I don't have a product key. I want Windows 10 Home. Click next. So click on accept the license terms on this one, click next. Right, these two options, you will mostly 9 times out of 10 you want to custom installed. If it's an upgrade, you want to do that from inside the Windows itself. But on a bootable installation, you want custom installed, so it's from scratch. Especially, I mean, definitely when you've got a brand new drive, it's always going to be custom. So click on next. You want to partition the drive to data and data and Windows. You can do that. So I'm going to probably do that. I'm going to go to new and halve that amount. So I'm going to say about 400 on there. So we're about 5, so do that and click on and halve that, so about okay. So yeah, I want Windows on the partition 2. Click on next. So yeah, pretty as easy as that. So now I'm going to have to wait, probably say about anything up to 5 minutes to copy Windows files, install them, and install features and updates, and to finish up on the Windows 10 installation. Okay, so now when this is finished, it took about less than 5 minutes. It's getting ready to complete the installation and set up all the services and devices, peripherals, booting them into the Windows, getting ready for all the the allocation of the devices, coordinate it with the software to finish off the process. So wait for that and complete the setup and prompt for necessary Windows settings. Sorry, user settings. Booting into Windows now, so the Windows setup. So obviously we want United Kingdom, yes. We want United Kingdom, yes, with the right keyboard layout. Skip, we don't want a second additional layout. I'm going to go for I don't have internet, because you really need, if you don't know your Windows, your email or password, then you want to click on no internet, because it gives you less problems. Because if you put I have internet and then put in your SSID, then then you don't and you realize that you don't know your password for your online account, Microsoft account, then it's going to be a big hassle, because you're going to have to either disconnect your Wi-Fi or install Windows just to get through this setup. So continue with limited setup on this one. I don't want any antivirus or anything like that. This noise, by the way, is actually the hard disk. That's the reason for installing an SSD, to get rid of that hard disk, failing hard disk that we've got there. There could be a whole reason why you want to replace your drive, upgrade drive or anything else like that. Failing drive, a higher capacity. So I'm going to put the name in here for a local account. No password. If you don't know any password, then you just click on next. Yes, to location settings. Oops, continue. Accept. Yep, find my device. Diagnostic data, yes. To send to Microsoft. Improve inking and typing, yes. Yes, click yes to everything basically, and accept for Cortana. This will now take a couple of minutes to get through this. You can see how fast the SSD, installing Windows on an SSD drive, is much faster than a hard disk. Because the read and write data, read and write access is a whole lot faster compared to the traditional spinning metal discs. Because in this new technology, it accesses data from memory banks on a PCB board. That's the way this one works. There's new technology, actually it's not new, it's been out for quite a few years now. The fastest technology you have are NVMe drives, which are made exactly the same way. It's data memory banks on it's chip blocks on a PCB board, but it's on what's called an NVMe drive, which removes the SATA interface, and that's the reason why it makes it a whole lot more faster than SSD on SATA interface, because directly accessed from the board itself without the need of a SATA access. So that's installed now. So that's it basically. All you need to do, you're not finished yet, you just need to do your connect your internet up, your Wi-Fi up. So I'm going to connect my Wi-Fi in there. Get hold of my dongle, my Wi-Fi dongle, connect it to my USB, and I'll put my SSID name, and then connect it to my SSID, and then go to Start and Settings, and then go to Windows Updates in order to get ready to install my drivers and then all my updates. But for the most difficult part, it's done. That's all you need to know. I hope you enjoyed this and it's helped you out installing the drive. Yeah, please like, subscribe and comment. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has helped you.